takes his one zap.
As you guys can see. And one of the things with the elevated bed is that she has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. So she now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
If you are currently experiencing a behavioral issue of any kind, feel free to email me, as I do offer virtual coaching. And if you would like, you can go to my Facebook page and you can see all the reviews that I've had from previous clients. But what nobody seems to be asking is, what about the remote? See, every collar like that has a remote that goes with it, or at the very least, some kind of app on your phone. Why did nobody ask Hasan to show the remote that goes with the collar? Because it would be very easy to determine what kind of collar it is if you had the remote and the collar.
Boom.
Yes, again.
Hi, Cat.
Where's the camera, huh?
No.
Think about going outside.
My name is Kevin. I've been working with dogs for 16 years. I currently help dog owners resolve behavioral issues that have developed in their dogs. I make the distinction on my channel that dog training is exclusively skill-based, while behavioral issues are largely socially related. So the focus of this channel is canine social dynamics and the relationship dynamic between dog and human. When I engage in resolving behavioral issues in dogs, I do not use treats, I do not use toys, I don't use play. My focus is on what's happening on a social level between dog and dog owner. So in this clip, you can clearly see that Hasan is attempting to hide the remote that very much looks like the same type of remote that comes with the Mini Educator ET300 e-collar. This version of the e-collar is in fact the one that does administer a shock, and it appears that Hasan has taken off the prongs and taped over the serial number in an attempt to hide the truth about the collar that he had on his dog. But in the end of this clip, you can clearly hear his friend tell Kaya, don't even think about going outside. Now, what's important to understand about these collars is that, as I said before, if you use them ethically and correctly, there's nothing wrong with using them. I personally don't use them. I've been working with dogs for almost 16 years. I've never used them. I've never really felt the need for them. But that doesn't mean there aren't people out there that do use them properly and in a manner that would be deemed ethical.
It's people fundamentally don't understand how like any of the dog training stuff works either. Like they don't realize that even the e-collars that do shock are unironically used to train fucking like service dogs and shit. They think it's like dog abuse in general. That's part of the reason why so many trainers have come out and been like, you guys are wrong. Like shock collars are not like tasing the dog. It's like a TENS machine. I have literally fucking shocked myself in the past. People are just like oblivious to that in general. So wait, hold up. Oh, we got a discount code that Jeremy sent me. Okay, I'm going to have Jeremy Scale on later today as well. Yes, thank you. Shock collars are not wrong. I mean, they can be used in a wrong way for sure. Stop saying they don't understand. Yeah, we use an e-collar on our hunting dog. I've shocked myself. It's for his safety when hunting. Like, people don't understand because, like, a lot of people think that it's just, you're not supposed to train your dogs at all. You're just supposed to let them fucking roam, not realizing that like dogs need structure.
But in the original clip that went viral, it does seem to be that the level that was administered to Kaya was high enough to get her to react in a way that would suggest that it caused some level of discomfort or pain. There are a number of other clips which point to the fact that Hasan does use this collar as a way to punish Kaya for getting off the platform.
My niece said they all say gay now and the R word. I'm shook. Wait, what do you mean? That's never stopped. That was the case when we were young too. Hey, out, place, Kaya, place, go. No, place. Enough of this madness. The airport experience, yeah. The Japanese airport experience is like everything works, everything is fast. Kaya, place.
Grabs the thing.
Get back there. What is this?
As somebody who helps owners resolve behavioral issues in their dogs, I do understand this industry on a different level than the average person. And the most glaring issue to me that this whole situation brings to light that I don't think people are really fleshing out is the fact that Hasan claims that he is just reinforcing the training that the professional has advised him to do.
Everything that I do with Kaya, is from professional trainers and from vets.
Given that this is an unregulated industry and there are a lot of people out there who are, quote, professionals, it can be very difficult to decipher good information from bad information. From my perspective, it does not appear that the quality of the advice or coaching that Hasan has received from this said professional appears to be all that good. There was a previous clip that I had found where Hasan is discussing dog training with his friends, and the individual sitting down mentions a trainer named Pat.
I have the best trainer in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
His name is Pat. You send him for two.
He trained my dog too.
And my dog.
Brian.
You sent him for 2 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks. You have to, bro.
What does he get trained to do?
To everything. Shot on, strong collar, shock collar.
He'll get training to like
Kaya?
basically be off collar. Like you don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Really?
Do you know Kaya?
My dog?
Cooking with Kaya?
No, my dog.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, we have the.
Oh, yeah, I met your dog.
Yes.
It's basketball man.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the best.
She's
dogs.
very well trained.
Now, I've looked around online for dog trainers named Pat who offer board and train programs in the San Diego area, and the only one I could find is this one. Now, I'm in no way implying that this is in fact the person Hasan and his friends hired to train his dog. However, if it is, he does market himself as somebody who exclusively uses positive reinforcement methods to train dogs. Now, there have been situations in the past where people have marketed themselves as exclusively using force-free or positive reinforcement methods, but behind the scenes, they are actually using punitive methods with tools such as e-collars or prong collars, and these tools are not associated with force-free or positive reinforcement training. In fact, these communities look down on these tools and speak out against them. For instance, there's an individual online named Peter Kane, and he markets himself as somebody who exclusively uses positive reinforcement techniques, but he also implements e-collars into his training protocol, and you can find clips on his channel of him using extremely punitive methods to punish a dog.
All ass. 7 hard. Here, heel. Sit. No, sit. No, over here, man. Sit. He's got to learn to do this stuff. No, come on, man. You bump into my leg again, you're hurting my fucking hip. Listen to my tone. You hear my tone? They don't understand words. You do that fucking again, I'm gonna get fucking pissed. He's hurting me. You better change your tone if your dog's doing something stupid, or they're gonna keep doing it. Sit! You better watch your step, man. You're hurting my fucking hip. Heel.
My work with dogs has shown me that if you build the correct relationship with the dog, obedience naturally comes with it. You don't really need to train the dog to get the results that you're looking for. My own dog is a demonstration of this. You can go to my previous channel. I have numerous live streams where I take her downtown through busy areas off leash, no collar, and I've never trained my dog to do any of that. And I have other live streams where I have client dogs as well as my own off leash, and we never train these dogs to do this. And so the idea that I really take issue here is that, from Hasan's own words, he is saying that you have to day in, day out continually reinforce this training, otherwise it all falls apart. And in his mind, if Kaya even gets off the mat of her own free will once or twice, that it is completely ruining all of the hard work that he's put in to get her to where she is now.
I'm very on it in terms of like reinforcing the training. Because if you actually train your dog, or you take your dog to a trainer and then refuse to reinforce that behavior, you ultimately allow your dog to slowly but surely expand the permission structure, and dogs need good guidance at every given moment.
Come here. Hey, if you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone.
Van's producer back in the day, back when he was in the look, see, spot training is already failing because I already let her fucking I already let her do whatever she wants now. See, this is how it works, okay? She expands on the readily available confines, okay? Do you see that? Thank you, haters. You have successfully ruined. You have. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you this dub. Dogs are like kids. They push boundaries. They push boundaries, and then they. Earlier, I saw the Ramatic content creator touch their plants too hard, that they were abusing the plant. The internet is now full of concerned citizens. This controversy was like catnip. I know. My haters are causing me to be more reactive to my dog when she's being spoiled, and then train her in the opposite direction. Train her into thinking that she can just like get my attention by crying in the background. Okay, which is bad. But what are you gonna do? Fuck it. I'll just destroy all of the training that I've worked very, very hard on to reinforce now that, the entire internet thinks I'm fucking abusive unless I, let my dog do whatever she wants and then run the show.
But this would imply that the training she has already received, not only from the professional, but day in and day out from Hasan, is really not that good. The fact that he has to resort to such authoritarian means to keep Kaya in check and keep her positioned on this little square in his room suggests that the relationship he has with Kaya is not very healthy.
As you guys can see. And one of the things with the elevated bed is that she has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. So she now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
Why else would you need to punish her in order to keep her on the platform, which, as you clearly can see, doesn't really work all that well? See, it's important to understand that if you place a demand on your dog, the demand should have a purpose and it should be reasonable. Otherwise, is it reasonable to expect your dog to carry it out? And in this case, if Hasan really just wants to train Kaya to stay in place for extended periods of time, then why isn't he starting from a smaller time frame and working his way up? For instance, during his stream, he could send Kaya to place for 5 minutes and then release her, and then maybe 10 minutes, then release her, and then maybe 15 minutes and then release her. But he doesn't do that. He's expecting her to stay on that platform for hours on end for no legitimate purpose other than what seems to be vanity.
Everybody wants me to comment on this video. Watch it.
America, Kaya, please just just stop.
Okay, now what happened there is that the e-collar was set too high. There's a rheostat on this, and you can lock it on a number. But if you don't, it might get bumped up too high, and you might get a vocalization from the dog. Is the dog damaged? No. You know what you compare it to? You ever step on a dog's foot by accident? Do you think that they hate you for life? No. They just move on. It's trainer error. If something like that happened, or he had it set too high, you would dial it down. I don't know the guy. I don't know if he's a trainer. I don't know what his deal is. But the collar was too high. As long as he wasn't using it at too high of a level all the time, and he just bumped it up by accident, and it was like a vocalization, it was an accident, the dog's fine. Everybody's crying about nothing. We got 6 million dogs dying every year. 49% of all puppies are surrendered the first year. And there's people that are worried about a dog making a vocalization. I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt that it was an accident, like stepping on a dog's foot. Okay? So you use these, and when you use these collars, you use them lower than a human can feel it. That's how I do it. Maybe if you contact the dog whisperer, they're using it as punishment. That's no good. The problem with it, if you dial it up and there's a vocalization like that, you're causing excitement. And excitement is the point all dogs make a mistake. They bark, lunge, bite, or just don't listen. So as a dog trainer, you would never do that. You want to condition the dog with the e-collar lower than a human can feel it. You use the e-collar when the dog is being good, not bad. Does that make sense? You're conditioning it. You're trying to make the dog work quicker. So you might say, sit, turn it on, real low, lower than you can feel it. And then when the dog sits its ass on the ground, you let your finger off the button. Or you go tap, tap, tap and stop tapping when the dog's ass is on the ground. You create a game. You create an annoyance for the dog. Okay? It's not that big of a deal as long as it was an accident. That's what I assume. It's like stepping on a dog's foot. Everybody needs to move on from this. Okay? These are a useful tool when used correctly. If he's doing that all the time, that's not using it correctly. All right? Use them lower than a human can feel it. Got it?